could eat.
Food or Goodwill, people.
Food or Goodwill.
Food or Goodwill.
Yay, we did it.
You did it, you got us here. We've only been here 500 times. You've only lived on Lake Charles for how long?
I don't live in Lake Charles.
Oh my gosh.
Live in Lake Charles?
Oh no, you don't live in Lake Charles. Gosh, people. Y'all can come and get her.
We have to stop in Lake Charles.
So unfortunately, Goodwill's music is always too loud, so we're gonna have to do a mix of a voiceover with a couple of clips in there of what we said while we were shopping. Initially, we were super disappointed walking around Goodwill because there was just look there was a whole bunch of nothing. Now, Mom did pick up these candlesticks right here, and they were really cute. I don't really know why we didn't buy them. Both of us looking back at this footage now, we're questioning ourselves, but that happens all the time, so just move on and let it go. So these shelves in our Goodwill just kind of is a hodgepodge of a lot of different things. So we're just digging through, and this is the basket area. We've seen some of y'all's Goodwills, and you have aisles of baskets, and we're very jealous because this is all the wicker we get over here in Louisiana. And the basket prices are so good for y'all. I want them to be cuter.
Yeah, they're cute. They're not cute.
I don't know what had gotten to us this day, but we were very, very snarky looking through the shelves of Goodwill this day. This was before Christmas of last year, so there was still a lot of seasonal stuff out, of course, and it was really just digging through to see if there was anything vintage anywhere at all. Spoiler alert, there's not really anything. This cup looked like it was cheaply made, so it might have been old, but we thought that maybe it was made in China. And here is my mom dancing about how terrible the music is in Goodwill, because it really is super loud and usually super bad. I picked up these risers right here just because I was desperate to find anything at this point, but we put them back. That is a wine bottle opener, but we think it looks like some kind of medieval torture device. Look at their eyes. Ugh. My son would call those jump scares. Okay, this is when things started to turn around, and I found this really large candlestick at a great price. So I snatched that.
Oh, I love it.
For you. These little things that somebody made.
Some crafty stuff.
Is today the candlestick day?
It must be.
We were really excited about all the candlesticks, as you can see here. And then look, we found another one. And this one was just, it was chef's kiss. It was so good that we posted on our Facebook page the next day and someone asked about it and it sold. We didn't even get to do a cute display with it, so loved that. Then we found a couple pieces of the Spring Blossom Pyrex pattern, which is the one I collect, but I actually have tons of teacups I don't need anymore. And then we looked at this Mary statue. We thought it was old, but it just felt cheaply made and it wasn't painted very well. And it wasn't what we're normally looking for when we are looking at vintage religious items. Mom was saying that she thinks that is some Indiana glassware right there, but we ended up leaving the Mary behind. Like I said, she didn't feel good quality. If you want to know the trick to finding good stuff, don't get a basket. Don't do it. Never. Every time I get a basket, nothing. Today, no basket.
Handfuls.
I'm honestly not too sure why we didn't get this. It might be that like the black part didn't look so vintage, but it was pretty cool. Little butterfly and flower from 1993, and then just a whole bunch of junk on the shelves, y'all. A whole bunch of junk. I found this bird and it was beautiful, but it was chipped, unfortunately, which is always such a bummer. And then my mom also found the bird and picked it up, which is what always happens with us. And then I found these vintage Tinker toys, which we didn't pick up because we have trouble selling vintage toys. Are those old Tinker toys, or
yes,
they just?
They are old. Yeah.
Are they really old?
Yep, that's old.
Those are cool.
That is old. We had some like that.
Old toys are one of the things that we love to find and we love to look at, and I put in my own home, but every time we have tried to sell them in our vintage boutique, they just sit and sit, and I actually have taken a lot of them home with me because nobody wants to buy them, and that's okay. That's just how it goes sometimes. So a lot of times we end up leaving behind things that we would like to use in decor, we would like to style, we would like people to buy, but you know, you live and you learn and you figure out what people are actually looking for. And I think that toys are one of those things that people might like. It's nostalgia, but they don't really know how to actually put them in their home as decor, or they might think it's odd and weird, which that's fine. I like odd and weird things in my home. This little guy was so cute, but he was all by himself. And so then we moved on to the dishes in the back. Usually my mom finds some really good stuff back here, but today we really didn't see anything. Those were some Pyrex bowls for a mixer, for like a stand mixer. We left those behind as well. We really don't sell a whole lot of plates or plate sets, but you never know what you're going to find whenever your Goodwill or thrift store has a section like this. So we still like to look and see what pops up. Oftentimes too, you can find things that actually don't belong in that section, and so maybe someone was looking for that item and it wasn't in the right section, but you found it because you looked through all of the sections. So that's something we try to do, is to look in every single part of Goodwill, because you never know where they're going to put an item, or maybe even a customer might pick an item up and then return it to the wrong spot. So we just kept looking. I was looking at these cutting boards just to see if they were anything good or nice. Then we have this little metal box, which ended up being empty, but I just love that rusty industrial feel of these kind of boxes. I'm kind of surprised we didn't take this because we were just saying that it would look really cool in a display, but we did leave that behind as well. Then we came across this cribbage set, which we did pick up. We love adding board games and game boards into decor, and it's just a really fun little thing that we like to add, so we grabbed that.
Whoa. Where the hell do you put that?
I don't know.
They're gonna like fall over.
Yeah, those are some interesting candles. They were the longest and thinnest candles that we have ever seen, and we left those. We left those behind too.
Ah! Things are falling off the shelves. Okay, that work order needs to go in.
Work order.
Going in.
The shelves need to be
straightened and cleaned. Okay, now I'm filming. Now I'm filming.
Alright, so my mom was supposed to have filmed me take down the first one of these pictures, but she just pretended to film me apparently. So this is the second one. There are two of them with hunting dogs on them, and they are absolutely amazing. These are coming home with me for my home because I collect vintage dog items. And I was just so excited to get them, and I cannot wait to put them on my walls. Then I found this cute little brass thing. I'm not really sure what it is, but it was adorable, and it said made in India on the bottom. So I ran that over to my mom, who was looking at the luggage.
That's cute. Isn't it adorable?
So we decided to take that, and then she was looking at this suitcase, which was amazing. However, it was $30, and so that was just out of our price point. And then she looked at this vintage Samsonite bag as well. What was really cool about that is they still had the luggage tag on with everyone's information on it. And we just love seeing things on old items that are like a remembrance of who had them and who was using them. Then she pulled this bag out, and wow. This bag was from the Roman Health Spa, which was in Lake Charles, and it looked like it had never been used. It was in great condition. We even did a sniff check to make sure that it didn't stink, but it was really, really, really good. And Mom is actually keeping this one for herself. She's going to use it, and then maybe it'll make its way to a shop later, but it's a pretty cool find that might stay with us forever. I would like to think that the same person that donated that bag also donated these wooden-headed golf clubs, which were so cool. I love vintage sports gear and equipment. However, it does not do well in our vintage boutique either, so we just looked at these, said they were really cool, and then put them back. Then I wanted to show Mom these two lamps that I had noticed, and I'm pretty sure they were vintage brass. So we went and took another look at it. She wasn't sure exactly if they were very old or not, and there was some wear to the brass, and they were $20 a piece. So we ended up leaving them there. Now we're kind of questioning ourselves, but maybe there was something else wrong with them at the time that we just didn't know and we don't remember. But yep, we left those. Then we did a quick sweep through the clothing to see if we could find anything fun, anything vintage, sweaters, anything like that. This was a really cool piece. Definitely vintage, but just a little too wild for our shop. But I could definitely see some people wearing this crazy print wind jacket. It was really cool. But we did find a couple sweaters, which you will see in the basket. We got a basket full.
I hardly ever have.
It never happens. Like,
It hasn't been
check it out.
happening.
Look, this sweater right here. Look. Oh my gosh. So, at our most recent market, at our booth, I added a rack of vintage clothing, and it did pretty good, huh?
It did really good.
So, I found a couple vintage sweaters.
This kind of stuff like this, they will buy.
Oh my gosh, yes. And it looks if that's going to fit into our shop. Oh, and I got a sweatshirt too. That's vintage with nutcrackers, so we're going to try it out. We got some stuff for me. This bag is just everything. So, let's check out.
Got some cool stuff.